Rabbi Steven Burg is the CEO of Aish Global. Father Patrick Flanagan is chair of the Department of Theology and Religious Studies at St. John's University. And Pastor Jesse Bradley is the senior pastor at Grace Community Church in Auburn, Washington. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, grateful to have you. So more details of this tragedy are unfolding, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims' families. I'll start with you, Rabbi Burg. Your thoughts on this unfolding investigation and reaction to this horrific news.
I mean, our hearts are broken really around the world, but no one's surprised. We have been begging, we've been pleading to stop the rhetoric, to stop the hate, the Free Palestine movement, what we saw in Columbia University this week at graduation. Frankly, the blood is on their hands. The blood is on the hands of the professors in the university. The blood is on the hands of those students that have been calling for this. And here it came. The Jews knew this was coming. This is our history. We've watched this when people demonize us. And frankly, Yaron was a Christian, because we're a free democracy in Israel, and he was able to serve in the foreign ministry. So our hearts are broken. We're not surprised. And what has been allowed to go on in the United States in the last 18 months has led to this moment. And it's going to continue unless this is stopped.
Unfortunate times, for sure. Rabbi Burg, what are you going to be telling the people that follow you, the people in your synagogue, about this horrific tragedy, anti-Semitism in general? I'm really interested in what your message to them is going to be.
Look, our hearts are broken. So there's a sort of mourning that goes along, and the Jewish people are a big family, and we always come together in the face of this. But to be honest, we're much more focused on the future and the present, what's going on. So many of our synagogues have had demonstrations outside of them, not because, I'd love to say it's just because of Israel, but it's because we're Jews. And frankly, I'd be honest with you, I don't feel the support that we should be getting from so many people out there. I really don't. And it's been going on for a long time. And so we are going to continue to fight for our people. We're going to fight for our nation. And to be honest with you, Jews have always, we mourn on the one hand, but we fight for our freedom and all the things that we believe in. And especially here in the United States, which has been such an incredible country for us, a country that we built up for so long, to see what's happening here and the hate that's spilling out into the streets. I would love to see more clergy and more members of other religion rise to the occasion and throw their support and say, this is wrong. What's going on the campuses are wrong. We're not really seeing that support. And so we're going to continue to try and ask our brothers and sisters to support us, but we're not going to change who and what we are.
Agreed. And right now, to your point, a message of hope and strength is also needed at a time of grieving. Rabbi Burg, I absolutely agree with you in terms of your assessment as to the lack of support we're seeing throughout the world from world leaders specifically, condemning anti-Semitism and encouraging the Jewish community to display their faith. We specifically saw this with the ICC and the fact that they said that Israel was committing genocide. Same thing with European leaders this past week. They don't blame Hamas, they blame Israel and Netanyahu. Your reaction to all of this?
Look, we're not surprised, but we're disappointed because I think being a Jew means you always look above and you always hope that people are going to get it right, and you consistently get it wrong. And, Pope Leo, I think we have a lot of hope with him coming in. But to be honest, the Jewish community, there was a lot of disappointment that one of his tweeted out about the issue about aid into Gaza. And frankly, that's been disproven by the UN, and there was no mention of the hostages. So I think we need to reach out to each other a little bit better. And the messaging has to be up there. But we're not going to change who we are. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. I run an organization in the old city of Jerusalem. I have a relationship with Christians. I have a relationship with Muslims. And everyone is able to pray in a free way. That's not the case in the other countries in the Middle East. And it's just such a shame that people don't really understand the beauty of Israel. We were attacked. Women and children were killed. And we had to respond. If the hostages were released tomorrow, this would all be over. Everyone knows that. We don't want to go to war. We want to be out of this. And we need everyone pressuring the real evil people, Hamas, the terrorists, to give back the hostages so we can all go home and go on with our lives and create a better world.
Yes.
Well, that's great to have a unified voice, at least on this network. And really thank you for joining us this morning on this really sad and horrific news. Rabbi Steven Burg, Father Patrick Flanagan, and Pastor Jesse Bradley, thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless everyone. Thank you.
God
Glad to be
bless
with
you
you.
as well.